Okay. Now over the top. So one of us. Body him, body him, body him. What? That didn't go in? Oh my gosh.
This game is so...
Over top. Jeez.
Okay, he's a chest saver.
I don't know how that didn't go in.
Oh, our team's balling out right now.
Imagine I magged him. Oh,
Off me!
You're
too big.
Yeah. Dang, I should have freaking scored that. Just gonna rip it. Get in there.
And
Woo! Got good long shots. Finally got to rip one though. Too strong.
ooh. Gosh.
Get in there.
What just happened?
Computer got their ankles broken. That's what happened. Oh my gosh, that first move. Yo, what's happening everyone? This is Lesky here, back to another FIFA 22 Pro Clubs player build, and in this video we're going to be going over this mini tank striker build that I have posted previously on my channel, but this time we have a lot more skill points and this is just an updated version of that previous video. So what we were focusing on with this mini tank build was making a short striker, either 5'3 or 5'4, and then maxing out the weight and seeing how much strength we can get as a very short striker in this game. Basically just maxing out the strength so we can body people. We're basically like a bowling ball. We can bounce off of people. We're just heavy, hard to move, and honestly just annoying to deal with if you're a defender. And it's just a fun build to use because you have that crazy strength on this build. I had a lot of fun using this build, so I hope y'all do too if y'all do try it out. And let's get started with this build video. Let's hop right into it. Let's take a look at the height and weight for this mini tank striker build. We went for 5'4", 253 pounds. You can either go 5'3 or 5'4. It's not going to change the attributes for the build, so it doesn't really matter other than you being an inch taller at 5'4", which is why I went for that. And then 253 pounds, that's the max weight. That's what will get us to the max strength for a 5'4 striker build, which is important. And both of these combined is what basically makes this the mini tank striker build. 5'4", 253, you're a really short and stocky body type, and you can bounce off people and just body them honestly and really surprise them because they're going to think you're pretty weak because you're really short. But you can surprise them with your strength. Let's move on to the perks for this mini tank striker build. For the first perk, we have the physical strength perk, which is what you'd expect for this mini tank striker build since we are trying to focus on increasing the strength as much as possible. We need this physical strength perk. This is the one perk I wouldn't take off. You could change the other two possibly, but I would definitely keep the physical strength perk. It increases your strength, ball control, and jumping when jostling, shielding, or heading the ball, and it'll just make you feel even stronger and even harder for your opponent to get the ball off of you. So for the second perk, we went for active first touch. And the main reason here is just because we are 253 pounds, so we do lose a little bit of pace, even though we are still pretty fast as a 5'4 striker. But since we are the max weight, we do lose a little bit of pace. This will kind of make up for it with the active first touch. It increases your ball control, acceleration, and sprint speed. And this will kick in like when you're running onto a through ball, like your acceleration and sprint speed will be increased while you're running onto a through ball. And that's very nice, especially since we lose a little bit of pace with the extra weight that we have on this build. And then for the third perk, we went for the pinpoint cross. Really, this is, you can switch this up, and you can also switch to active first touch if you want skill dribbler. Or if you want, you can do active first touch and skill dribbler. But for me, since I was playing with a buddy who was like a 6'7 striker and I just kind of wanted to get some crosses in, and since I am pretty short and fast, I will be out wide on the wide areas of the pitch quite a bit. So I will run into some instances where I needed to cross the ball. So the pinpoint cross was pretty clutch. That's why I had it on this build. But I also tried one-time shot for like a game or two. You can give that a try. You can't go wrong with that. It'll increase your weak foot on one-time shots. It'll give you the power header trait, outside foot, flare, and finesse. The power header might not be that helpful for a 5'4 striker. You might not get that many headers, but I did score at least one header goal with this build that was pretty nice. Or if you like distance shooting long shots from outside the box, go for that. That could be a very good option. Or if you want to increase the passing precision or threaded pass, as well. You could do that. But honestly, if you don't want to do any of those, what I would do, if y'all are at level 23, unfortunately I'm not at level 23, this is probably what I would do. I would do physical strength, active first touch, and then I would add tireless runner, because as a short striker this year in pro clubs, in order to nerf, I guess, like the really short, fast strikers, they made the stamina terrible on them. Like, it's so bad, and even if you upgrade it, it's still like garbage. So tireless runner would actually be extremely important for this build, but I just don't have it unlocked. I'm more than halfway to level 23, then I will have it unlocked, and then I would probably use it with the physical strength, active first touch, and tireless runner, but I just can't. So honestly, that's the one I would recommend for the third perk more than any of them, honestly, unless you really just want to put some really nice crosses or passes in there and just increase the passing, because the passing's not very good on a striker build either. But this is it for the perks that I have: physical strength, active first touch, and pinpoint cross. But again, if you do have the tireless runner, I would highly recommend putting that on instead of the pinpoint cross. So now let's head on over to the skill tree for this build. Starting with the physical page for this mini tank striker build, we went all the way down to the bull archetype. Like I said, we tried to bump up the strength as much as possible and get the max strength for a 5'4" striker, and that's what we did. If I take all this off, you see that we only had 69 strength, but because of this bull archetype and this strength right here, it gets us plus 13 strength and some other stuff like some stamina and aggression as well, and gets us up to 82 strength for a 5'4" striker. That is really good. And then on top of that, we have the physical strength perk, which boosts your strength up quite a bit. So you honestly probably have like almost 90 strength, if not more than 90 strength as a 5'4" striker. And you can seriously body like even tall builds, like tall center backs. It's crazy. You can really surprise people with it. And I was honestly pleasantly surprised that you could get the strength 80 or higher. I thought you wouldn't even be able to get it over 80 for a 5'4" striker. So I thought it was pretty nice that you could do this. We're almost like a little Carlos Tevez, or like a Hulk, even though we're even shorter than Carlos Tevez and Hulk. But we just got that really stocky body type. It's just hard to take you down or even push you off the ball. But again, like I said earlier, with the stamina, as a 5'4" striker, the stamina is just garbage. Like, to start out with, you have 65 stamina. And then we upgrade it plus 3. And then you could upgrade it plus 2 on this right side to 70 stamina. And then that's it until you get the acrobat archetype, is when you get plus 8 stamina, or plus 6 stamina, I guess, because it's adding this. So you could get a total of plus 8 stamina if you get the acrobat archetype, which is 17 skill points, and we just don't have enough skill points for that. So that's the way I think EA decided to nerf small builds, was just make the stamina terrible on them. So we kind of just have to deal with that, and that is why I recommended the tireless runner for the second wind trait that you get at the 75th minute. It boosts your stamina up once the 75th minute hits in the game. So now let's go on to the rest of the skill tree and take a look at the dribbling page, where we went for the 5-star skills and the Lynx archetype, and that'll get us to 88 agility, 87 balance, 89 ball control, and 89 dribbling. I went for the 5-star skills because I'm a big fan of them. I love using them. But if y'all don't want to use 5-star skills, if y'all only want to use 4-star skills, just take one of them off. Or if y'all only want the 3-star skills, feel free to do that as well, and you'll have a lot more skill points to put elsewhere. Like, you could put the rest of the skill points, some on this balance right here, and then honestly I'd put the rest on like the shooting page, or maybe increase the stamina a bit if possible. But I'm going to put the 5-star skills back, and then just make sure you get this agility right here, and then get this Lynx archetype, which is clutch because it'll give us plus 6 agility and plus 5 balance for 10 skill points, and that'll get our dribbling page looking really nice. So now on to passing. We don't have much on this passing page. We only have one thing, which was just there because we had extra skill points. We only had one extra skill point to throw on, and we just had to throw it onto this short passing. But really, we can't talk too much about the passing page because it's just not that great. I gotta be honest with you guys, the passing is just not that good. I had a lot of instances where I just thought the passes were just not really where I was pointing sometimes, and it just wasn't the best. But that's almost like every single striker build in pro clubs, honestly, unless you really focus on passing, increasing the passing ability. But the 70 vision really does hinder it quite a bit. That's very low. I don't know if it's because we are 5'4". I wonder if if we were a little bit of a taller striker, if we'd have more vision. I think we would. But I guess that's a little bit of a downside for going a short striker this year. Not too sure. But the passing's not that great. And we only have this one thing on this passing page. So let's take a look at shooting now, where we went for the 4-star weak foot, and then we got this long shot and shot power right here. This one will give us +4 long shots and +2 shot power. And then we make sure to get this finishing right here. These two are only 3 skill points combined, and they give you +5 finishing and +3 volleys. And that'll bump us up to 89 finishing, 77 heading accuracy, 73 shot power, 88 long shots, 85 volleys, and 81 pins. We actually have pretty good long shots. The one thing that's kind of lacking is the shot power, but that's because we're 5'4". Even though we are 253 pounds, which bumps up the shot power a bit, it's still not that good. But just keep in mind, if we were like 5'4", 99 pounds, it would probably be like 60-something shot power, so it's at least better than that. And if you had some extra skill points, you could bump the shot power with these two things right here, and they're only 3 skill points each for +3 shot power, so it's really not too bad. If y'all wanted to bump that up, y'all could. And like I said, if y'all weren't going for those 5-star skills, y'all could use some of the extra skill points on the shooting page, increase the shot power, or maybe add it to this finishing and volleys. Yeah, the shooting is not that bad at all, honestly. Just really the shot power is the one thing that's kind of lacking. So now let's take a look at the pace page, where we really wanted to go for the max pace on this build, but it's just not possible right now since we don't have enough skill points. We're just a little bit short on the skill points. Like if I were to take off this passing, we'd have 1 extra skill point, and then we just need 2 more in order to get that 92 sprint speed and 92 acceleration. But either way, without it, I don't think you'll be able to tell much of a difference, and the build's not going to be a problem when it comes to pace. You're going to be able to get in behind on the defense pretty easily, and you're really not going to have a problem with it at all. But it would be nice to bump it up and get 92 pace exactly. So if y'all have some extra skill points to throw into this build, if y'all have more skill points than me, or y'all aren't going for the 5-star skills or even the 4-star skills, use those extra skill points to just bump up the sprint speed and get the full pace on this build. And that's going to do it for this mini tank striker build, which is really fun, and I enjoyed using it quite a bit. So if y'all do give it a try, please let me know in the comments how you like it. Just keep in mind, this isn't going to be like the most overpowered, sweaty meta build possible in pro clubs. Wasn't really going for that. I was just going for a fun build that a lot of you guys might want to try out and find fun to use as well, just because you're stocky body type, 5'4", 253 pounds. Just kind of a unique build, and it's just fun to use, and it's honestly extremely usable in whatever division you are in. It really doesn't matter. So please let me know in the comments if you do give this build a try. I'd love to hear that. And if y'all could hit that like button on this video for me, and hit that subscribe button on my channel if you aren't already subscribed. We are trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. And then once we hit 3,000, we're just going to keep moving forward and keep grinding and trying to grow. So thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's day, and peace out.